This birthday was my 38th birthday. It was the first real and best birthday that I've ever had. All of the other 37 years were a joyless performance that I had to put up because everybody else expected me to. This year, I woke up, made myself coffee, tucked myself onto the couch, and then for 6 hours, I watched YouTube or Netflix on my laptop. It was so amazing. Then my girlfriend and I went for a walk in the nature, of course. When we came back, she asked me, do I want more alone time or do I want to hang out and do something together? And I chose, let's watch Netflix. And we agreed we were going to watch the roast of Kevin Hart. After that, I cut myself 2 pieces of cake at the same time because I wanted to. Because in the past, you never cut 2 pieces of cake at the same time. You only cut one piece. And then if you wanted one more, you ask for one more. Even if I was a birthday boy, like I had to ask. But this time I knew I was going to eat two anyway, so I just cut myself two. And that was a small gift to myself, to my little blush, that because it was my day, I did whatever I want. And then we went to bed. In the past, I was abused and traumatized, heavily traumatized as a child. And birthdays were pretty much celebrations for everybody else. It had to be a performance. I had to invite people for my birthday. And then when they would show up, I would be grateful for them showing up, giving me presents. I had to open the presents in front of them and fake pretty much happiness and joy. Whereas most of the freaking presents were stupid. I never would use them. I would just love for them to give me just some cash so that I can actually buy myself some books. Because that's what I really wanted. I didn't want any toys or anything stupid like that. And then we have to go through all of the motions of people talking to me, of course, my grandparents, my uncles, who I never liked, my cousins, yeah, they were there. Um, and I never was able to do what I wanted. And nobody ever asked me, my parents never asked me, Blash, what do you want to do for your birthday? Or even if I did tell them, they always dismissed it because that's not the proper way to have a birthday. You should have a party. You should invite others so that they celebrate the day you were born, and that pretty much I survived another year on the earth. Pretty much, they never asked me, "Hey, what do you want to do?" Because what I would have told them is, people to leave me alone. I would love to go to a bookshop, grab a book that I wanted to, and that would be it. That I could actually read the book, be by myself, and that would be the best possible birthday for me. But no, for everybody, it was like, you need to perform. And I still remember one birthday where I was having so much fun. We lived in an apartment in a block of flats. Like there was a big workers apartments there next to the factory, and we were playing football, soccer for you American folks. It was awesome. We played like for about 2 hours, and then the dreadful call came from my mom. It's like, Blash, come back, come up. Your grandparents, uncles, and everybody else of the older people are there, and you're not here. We need to celebrate your birthday. Okay, cool. I went up, and what happened was everybody else was talking to each other. I was miserable there because after everybody told me happy birthday, and I think we even sang happy birthday, which was always awkward and stupid. And then I just sat there and watched my friends play football from the window. And of course, after everybody left, my dad was always really drunk for my birthdays because he was celebrating, of course, my birthday, not his, but my birthday was always a celebration to him. And he allowed himself to be just a little bit more drunk. My dad is an alcoholic, so he always found the occasions to be drunk. And then, of course, my mom and dad always had a fight, and I was miserable because I could hear them, I could feel them just fighting. Whereas, of course, it was supposed to be my birthday. Everybody was supposed to be, or at least that's what they were telling me, Laj, what do you want? We're gonna do everything for you. But it was never like that. Um, so even when everybody was quote unquote there for me and was celebrating my life, I never felt more alone at that point. And it was always a performance for me that I was completely exhausted afterwards. And then, of course, the next day I was recuperating from that exhaustion, which was another quote unquote lost day. And even when I didn't have any birthday, or I couldn't do birthdays because I was in the military, I was working. Um, those days had to be productive. My subconscious was so traumatized and so set that if you can't celebrate the birthday that everybody else thinks, or the society, that the environment that I was living in was conditioning me to celebrate it, I had to be productive. So when I was at the U.S. Military Academy at West Point, the 4 years there, because of the way the term end exams and the way the semesters worked, I always had exams that day. Pretty much up until that point, those were my best birthdays because nobody ever expected me to do anything because I either had to study or I was in the exam room. One year, I had two exams and I was in the exam rooms for 7 hours on my birthday. It was actually pretty fun because there was no expectations, and my classmates, my roommates, whoever knew that I had my birthday, they were just like, "Hey, happy birthday!" I was like, "Thanks, see ya, bye bye." So this all started to change after I moved away from my parents. So that's 6 years ago, 6 years ago, because I still had the subconscious conditioning that I always need to do something for my birthday, and I was always sad, never happy. Um, and I always did something during those days. And even with my girlfriend, she tried her best. She is amazing at this organizing stuff. Like, but we were always alone. So that was the first kind of thing that I started to be true to myself. I never had parties. We just celebrated by ourselves. Just had dinner or lunch or something like that. But it was only this year that I truly had a birthday that I so enjoyed doing nothing and actually not feeling guilty of it. This was the first year that I didn't feel, my subconscious didn't make me feel guilty if I didn't do anything. If I just lay there, watched a movie, watched some YouTube videos, at afterwards had some calming music on, then just ate cake, and that was it. It was best birthday ever. And the day before my birthday was also groundbreaking, which I'm going to talk about in this video.